Hare Krishna devotees, the topic for today is Krishna is not affected by any work. And the sloka is from chapter number 4, verse number 13. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. Hare Krishna, anybody wants to read this?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Chaturvarnyam maya shishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha tasya kartaram apimam vidhe akarataram avyayam. Hare Krishna, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. So, we'll try to explore this verse here, where Krishna is talking about the Varnashrama system, the four Varnas and the four Ashramas. Okay, let us go through this purport and see what Srila Prabhupada has written. The Lord is the creator of everything. Everything is born of Him. Everything is sustained by Him. And everything after annihilation rests in Him. He is therefore the creator of the four divisions of the social order, beginning with the intelligent class of men, technically called Brahmanas, due to their being situated in the mode of goodness. Next is the administrative class, technically called as Kshatriyas, due to their being situated in the mode of passion. The mercantile men, called Vaishyas, are situated in the mixed mode of passion and ignorance, and Shudras or laborer class are situated in the ignorant mode of material nature. So this is about the four divisions of social order. Sanatana Dharma is also called as Varnashrama Dharma, where there are four divisions of the social order and four divisions of the spiritual order. That means socially, if we have to divide the society into four categories, we don't have to divide it. It is naturally divided. In any society we go, it is naturally divided into four categories. And what are those four categories? It is also called as intelligent class, administrative class, mercantile class, and laborer class. And often this topic is presented very controversially, or it becomes a source of a controversy, that why does Hinduism divide the society based on the work? Why is it seen that the Brahmanas are the topmost order and the Kshatriyas are the secondary order, third one is the mercantile class, and fourth one is the laborer class? Why is it seen like that? The answer is very clearly given here in the purport. The answer is this, that the first class is called the Brahmana class because it is the intelligentsia. In any society, there is something called as the intelligentsia. What is the intelligentsia? Those people who are in the academic line, those who are teachers, those who are philosophers, those who are poets, those who are authors, because they are spreading knowledge. They are spreading knowledge. and they are typically less inclined towards making money. That is called as the intelligent class of men. All the PhD, doctorates, postdoctorates, scientists, academicians, right? And also the priests, the religious sadhus, whoever are teaching knowledge, spiritual knowledge, scriptural knowledge, material knowledge, anybody teaching any form of a knowledge is said to be the Brahmana. So, because they are in the mode of goodness, so the division is based on guna karma vibhagashaha. Why is it said that the Brahmana class is the topmost? The answer is because of the mode of goodness, because they are in the mode of goodness. So, in the mode of goodness, they are not being violent like the administrative class. The administrative class is said to be violent. Why? I'll come to that in a moment. And the mercantile class is said to be in the mode of passion plus ignorance, because they are regularly lying for the sake of business, and it is normal. And the last one, that is the laborer class, the employees, it also covers the employees, all the laborers, all kinds of labor, right, is said to be in the mode of ignorance. So, to understand what exactly this means, guna karma vibhagashaha, we have to understand the three modes of material nature properly. The three modes of material nature, it is said that the darkest among these three modes of material nature is starting from mode of ignorance. And the qualities of the mode of ignorance are given, right? Mode of ignorance is not understanding the big picture is one of them. It's being ignorant. An employee, for example, has no clue what is happening inside the company. So an employee is regularly going, doing his work and coming back to home. He has no clue about what is the business that's going on, whether there is certain business or not, whether the business is performing properly or not. They have no clue. So for example, as employees, we understand this sentiment. As employees, we always think that I just don't want to get fired, and we feel very hurt when we get fired. But what we don't understand as employees is that the very reason why the employees are employed is because of there is a profitable business. There is a business which is making profit. And because of the various dynamics of the business, if the business or if that group or if that product or if that project is not profitable, naturally the administration would like to cut down the employees. But the employees don't understand this because of very narrow thought process, that I know the only thing that I am supposed to do. I'll go every day morning, I'll punch in, I'll just do whatever I'm supposed to be doing, I'll just go home. And I don't understand what's going on. So the knowledge is very, very limited, and it's almost like ignorance, because we think that one thing is all in all. I mean, we have no idea like what's happening. Why is what's the reason why this company is running? We have no clue at all. What's the dynamic? But who knows it? The owner of the company knows that better. So those people who are at the top level of the management, they understand that the current market dynamics are like this, whether there is profit or not, whether this will work or not. So what is the problem in the market? Are we getting business or not? Whether there is recession or not, whether we have clients or not, all of this, the business class understands. So the business class is a little more intelligent than the laborer class. This is very simple to understand. The laborer class only thinks that there is only one thing to do, and that's all in all. A business class is somebody, it can be solopreneurs, it can be freelancers, it can be corporate businessmen. They understand the bigger picture. Even a person who is running his own shop, right, a medical shop or a kirana shop, has a better idea, what is going on. They know how much profit they are getting, how much loss they are getting, what is the accounting that's happening, what is the kind of competition that they are getting, right? So they understand all of this. It's a practical thing. So better than this, more knowledgeable than the mercantile class, the capitalistic society, you can say the Shudra class is more of a communistic kind of a society where laborers first. We don't care about profits. And then comes the capitalistic society where profits first. That is a little different level of thought, where profits are the basis of anything to run. The economy runs on profits. So that's capitalistic thought, where the Vaishyas or the businessmen are running the society. Bigger than that, there is a bigger picture than that. It's not just about the business. There's something bigger than business. That's the administrative class. Why is administrative class more important than the business class? Let's try to understand that. When the Britishers had come to India, they had come to do business. They were supposed to be merchants, right? The British company, whatever they used to call it, they had come to just trade with us. They were traders. But later they realized the opportunity that if we can start controlling this land, we can make much more money, obviously. So when they became the administrator, when they started colonizing India and various other countries in the world, naturally they could impose all their rules and regulations, and they could restrict all the kinds of exports from our artisans, and they very easily took $1 trillion from us. Simple. So administration is more important than business, because if the administrative class, if the political environment is not conducive for business, the business cannot run. This is the fundamental thing that we have to understand. Just like, for example, there's a lot of scene that's going on about the tariffs right now in the US. Trump is talking about the tariffs. So because of the tariff war, all the stock markets are crashing, right? So the idea is, if the political environment is not suitable, there is no possibility for a business to thrive. Just like, take the case of Bangladesh. Right now, it's in a political turmoil. There is anarchy right now, because of which you cannot expect that foreign investors will invest in that country. They're actually withdrawing all the money, right? So it's very simple. If there is anarchy, and politically if there is no stability, right? If there is no conduciveness for businesses, naturally it will not grow. The right now we see that the southern part of India is growing faster, in comparison with the northern part of the India at the moment. The reason is because of the policies that the government had taken over the last 75 years, right? So it is the political policies that actually matter. The reason why Bangalore has become the Silicon City of India, why Hyderabad is the next IT capital, is because of the political decisions that they took and how they made it conducive for the businesses. So this is what we have friends. So political scene is a bigger thing, okay? There's something bigger. So there is a more control, and they have control over all the people. The politicians, when we open the newspapers, we like to talk about the politician. Nobody likes to talk about the employees, right? Everybody wants to talk about either the businessmen or the politicians, right? So politicians, they have a greater control, and beyond this political control is the intellectual control, right? It is the intelligent strategy behind this politics is what is more important, which controls everything else actually. That is the brain behind all of this. So Just like how, the Britishers had a policy of colonizing each and every country. They had a very powerful strategy. The thinkers from the Great Britain, the intelligent class, had charted out these plans, and then they rolled out these plans in all the countries where they were staying. And that is how intellectual power is more powerful than the power of a sword, than the power of money, than the power of your hands or fist, right? So it is said the most powerful thing is brain power, mind power. First comes intelligence, buddhi bala. Then comes, political power, that, power of the police or power of the law or power of the sword or power of the gun or the rifle comes next, only after intelligence. Because with intelligence, it is also possible to defeat the weapons or by force, but all the forces. Intelligence is more important than that. And money is not as important as, political power, right? And finally, the lowest of all is the physical strength. The physical strength that we have got is said to be the weakest among all of these four strengths. So it's a very natural and an obvious kind of a division. Let's see this. So we said that mode of goodness is the first class of men, that is the intelligentsia, or those people who are making the strategies for the country, those people who are the scientists, those people who are creating the technology, right? They are the intelligentsia, they are the mode of goodness. Now, just like for example, even if you talk about the latest developments of artificial intelligence, right? So these artificial intelligence developments, of course, they are propagated by the businesses like Microsoft or OpenAI, etc. But behind these businesses are the research papers written by the academia on the generative AI or AI. So the research is first. So the academia, they did the research. They were some from the last 50 years they have been doing research, and they made a lot of progress in this research, and they made some prototypes. And the businesses like OpenAI, etc. This again, it was supposed to be a not for profit before. They have taken over these research ideas and they made it mainstream. And then the politicians, for example, there is news that Israel has used Microsoft technologies in their war. That means it all started with a research paper from the academia. Then it was worked upon by businesses. Then the politicians took the technology over, and then they are politically using it to control people. That is how it works. And where is the Shudra in this equation? Actually, not there at all. Shudras, in the sense that not in mainstream. Shudras are just simply, just like the frontline soldiers. That's it. They are just used for constructing the buildings or for the frontline soldiers, and they have no clue what is happening. They have no clue what is the research that's going on in the field of academics, nor do they have the idea about how to capitalize it, make into a business, nor do they have any idea about how to politically use it as a strategy. That's why it is said that Shudra is in the mode of ignorance, and Vaishya is said to be in the mixed mode of passion and ignorance. And Kshatriya is better because he is in the mode of passion. Because if you compare these three modes, starting from ignorance, passion, and goodness, it is said in Bhagavad Gita that each of this mode is more illuminating than the other. Mode of passion is better than mode of ignorance. It is better to be working very hard than to be sleeping or to be in inertia or to have no idea or clue about what is happening. Just blindly working. That's it. It's better to be passionate. And better than the mode of passion is to use some intelligence, use some wisdom, use the intellectual capacity or a brain, and Try to understand what is happening. Try to understand everything, whatever is happening. So this is from a material standpoint of view. I'm saying that, you try to understand whatever is happening around you. From a spiritual standpoint, also you have to understand what is happening around you. If there is a death that is happening in a colony, somebody dead, you should ask a question, what happened to this person, right? The question should be, why couldn't the government save this person? So here is a person who is belonging to the state, and he has voted for certain party, and why that party has not been able to save this person from dying. That's a question we should be asking. Why couldn't the science save this person from dying? The scientists, the intelligentsia, the academicians, they are not able to save themselves, right? So why is it that nobody is able to save this person from the grip of the cruel hands of death? Or why is it that we are not able to stop anybody from aging? Right? That's the birth, death, old age and disease. Why are we not able to stop anybody from becoming old? So no matter what country, what kind of society that you have, what kind of politicians that you elect, no matter how scientifically advanced you may be, these natural phenomena or the natural miseries are happening: birth, death, old age and disease, and we are not able to counter any one of these. So we have to understand that also. How is things happening? How is the market working? How is government working? How is the society working? How is this working? What is the meaning of death? That is the explanation that is given in Bhagavad-gītā. Right? So that is mode of goodness. And then, so now I hope it's clear why this division is, because a lot of people sentimentally try to quarrel and say that Hinduism is about caste system, etc. That's a different story. Caste system is an offshoot or unintended consequence of this kind of a division. That was not what it was intended to be. This division is supposed to be a natural division, not based on birth. Again, it's said here very clearly. It's not based on birth. It is guna karma vibhagashah. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtva guna karma vibhagashah. Guna is based on one's quality, and karma based on one's activity. Whether I am a Brahmana or whether I am a Shudra, whether I am a Kshatriya or Vaishya is decided based upon my swabhava, my quality, my calling, my values, and my karma. What is the profession that I am doing? So it is very obvious. So it is not possible that a person who is born in the family of Brahmana, but right now he is maybe selling shoes or stitching shoes and saying that I am a Brahmana. It's not possible to say that. Okay, that's not allowed. It's about what is the activity that you're doing. So it's like Prabhupada says, a son of a lawyer cannot be a lawyer. So lawyer is a qualified lawyer allowed to take up cases, but his son may not be or is not allowed to be declaring himself as a lawyer without going to the law school and getting the necessary license and training. So without training, without the necessary license, government license, and without the appropriate practice, a person cannot call oneself as a lawyer. Similarly, a person cannot call oneself a Brahmana without first of all having undergone the proper training of the Vedas, and without having established and acting in the platform of the Brahmana platform, which I will explain in a moment. What are the activities that are done by a Brahmana? And guna karma, without acting these activities or the tasks, you cannot simply say I am a Brahmana because I am by birth, I was born to a Brahmin mother and father. Therefore, I have done the thread ceremony, Upanayana Samskara. Therefore, I am a Brahmana. So, just based on that argument, one cannot become a Brahmana. One has to be situated in the mode of goodness. Actually, it is said that to be situated in the mode of goodness, there is only one possibility, that one has to be Krishna conscious. Only those who are Krishna conscious can be in the mode of goodness. So naturally, we can say that anybody who is in Krishna consciousness, they can be called as Brahmanas. So it is said, Shuchi hoy muchi yadi Krishna tyaje, muchi hoy shuchi yadi Krishna bhaje. That means, Shuchi means the Brahmanas who are supposed to be in the mode of goodness. If they do not worship Krishna, then they are called as Muchi. That is the opposite. That is Chandala, outside of the social, four orders of the social division. Or if a Chandala, or if the low caste, the outcast, if he is chanting the holy names of Krishna, he is considered to be a Brahmana. This is the Vedic injunction. This is how we have to understand. So unless we have to establish ourselves in the mode of goodness, and then only we can be in the Brahminical platform. That is, to begin with, that's in the mode of goodness. And the platform of a Vaishnava or a pure devotee, the pure devotee, exalted, that is a first class devotee, is beyond the Brahmana. Beyond the Brahmana is the Vaishnava or a pure devotee. Right? So here the topic was about Krishna saying that according to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. Krishna is saying, I have created it. The four divisions have come from Krishna. So at the beginning of the universe, these four divisions have come. The divisions have come, not the people. Try to understand that. Divisions have come. And then it is our choice, or based on our swabhava, we get attracted to one of these divisions. We are either Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra, based on our swabhava. And again, it does not disqualify us from going back to Godhead, these four categories. Because Krishna says, doesn't matter if one is a Vaishya, doesn't matter if one is a Shudra, doesn't matter if one is a male or female. What matters is one is a devotee or not, and they can all come back to Godhead. Krishna very clearly said that in the 9th chapter. So this is only a social division. It's not a kind of a barrier for somebody to become Krishna conscious. At any moment, anybody, all the Chudras, can happily chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and become Brahmanas as per the Shastra. There is no reason to complain against the Shastra or against Krishna, saying that why is this division like this? Why not Brahmanas first, and why not the Shudras first and the Brahmanas at the end? That's what the current society is. It is like ulta, topsy-turvy way. Right? The original society says that the Go and the Brahmana should be first. The cows and the Brahmana should be first. Now it's actually the opposite. The society has turned opposite direction. So that means we have placed the mode of ignorance first and mode of goodness in the end. That means coming to Bhagavad-gītā class is the last priority, but going to a bar is the first priority. That is the situation. Going to a bar or going to a meat shop or going to a meat eating hotel is the first priority. Coming to a Gita class, chanting Hare Krishna is the last priority. That is the current society. That is because of the influence of the Kali Yuga that has happened. It has become ulta. People are not able to understand the value of what is the meaning of spirituality, what is the meaning of this social order. Right? So here it is saying, Krishna is saying, I have created it. Right? I am the creator. But I am the creator of the system. You should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Krishna is the creator of the system. And naturally, any society that you take, any society, it can be Great Britain, it can be United States of America, it can be Africa, it can be France, it can be anything, South America. There are always four divisions. There are the intelligent class who are more interested in academics, publishing papers, publishing patents. That is one class. Creating some kind of innovations, inventions, or maybe fathers in the church, or priestly class. That is one class. There is the other kind of class who want to be administrators, who want to be like the prime minister, the Rishi Sunak or Donald Trump or Narendra Modi. The Kshatriya class, where they want to, who are in the mode of passion, who want to be controlling, want to be the controller, right? So that is mode of passion. There are some people like that who get attracted to politics, and they are contesting elections, and they're standing for some cause, they're fighting for some cause, they are natural leaders. That is mode of passion. And then there are some people who are businessmen, right? Who are looking for business opportunities. How can we set up a shop? How can we get profits? How can we make money? That is business class. And then there is the last category, who are just simply trying to serve either three of them. Either they are working in the colleges as a peon or some kind of a laborer in the college, or working for the Kshatriyas as the frontline soldiers, or working for the businessmen as employees. They are the Shudras. That's what it basically says. So now, this division is not there in the animal society. Human society has got the division. You don't see that, the street dogs, they are dividing themselves into Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, right? Or the ants or rats or birds. It's not that, there is some intelligent class of monkeys, or laborer monkeys or something like that. But sometimes it is also possible to see in a different way. Like for example, if you see, there is something called worker bees. In the bee society, there are some worker bees. There is a queen bee. So you can consider that queen bee is like the administrative, and the worker bees are the workers, right? For example, the ants are also very hardworking, right? So they are all working. They don't know what they're doing. They just keep doing hard work all the time. But of course, this kind of four technical division is not there. Some kind of natural kind of things may be there, that there are some animals who are doing certain kind of activity, some animals who are doing certain kind of activity. In animal society also there is some kind of division, but not so technical or as important or as significant as this division. This is possible in human society. And Krishna, what about him? What is his situation? Is he a Brahmana? Is he a Kshatriya? Is he a Vaishya, or is he a Shudra? He is neither one of them. Is he in mode of goodness or passion or ignorance, or what is he? Does he want to be having some kind of employment so that he just gets his monthly salary? Or is he wanting some profit? He wants to make some money? Or is he wanting to become the controller or the king so that he can extract taxes? Or does he want to be the intelligentsia or the priestly class, publishing some intellectual material? None of the above. None of the above. These are divisions which belong to us. They do not belong to God. However, it is interesting to note that God, when he takes incarnation, he is taking incarnation as one of these Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, right? So not even Vaishya, we don't see any avatars as Vaishya. We see either Brahmana or Kshatriya. What are the examples of Lord's incarnations as Brahmana? Can anybody say?
Vaman Avatar.
Vamana avatar. What else?
Vyasadev,
Vyasdev. That's nice.
Kapila Muni,
Kapila Muni.
Buddha.
Buddha. Okay, can say. Okay. How about Parshuram?
Parshuram.
Parshuram Kshatriya, no Prabhuji.
No, he's technically a Brahmana.
He's a Brahmana, but he was in the mode of passion.
He acted like a Kshatriya, but he was born, he was a Brahmana who acted like a Kshatriya.
Yes.
There's a big story behind it. And then what about the latest incarnation? We forgot about it.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, what about Nimai Pandit? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sachi, Vishwambara, right? They were Brahmana class, right? Kshatriya, examples of a Kshatriya, Lord taking the incarnation of
Rama.
Lord Ramachandra and Lord Krishna also technically was born to Kshatriya parents, right? Isn't it?
Yes,
Vasudeva and
Prabhuji.
Devaki. Vasudeva and Devaki, right? And Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda were the parents, they were not biological parents, they're Vaishya, right? So it's like that. So Lord comes in different, of course, Lord can come as anybody. Lord can come as a, for example, when he comes, if you see the devotees, there are so many devotees who are Shudra also. For example, Vidura is a Shudra, right? And like that, there can be many more examples, right? So it does not matter. Lord can come as an animal also. He has come as a pig also, as a boar also, but still he is transcendental. He is not affected by the modes of material nature. He is beyond these three divisions, all the modes of material nature, right? So he is not one of the conditioned souls, because he is not one of the conditioned souls, right? It's a section of whom form the human society. That's why it's interesting to note, even the devotees have similar nature as that of Krishna. So it does not matter what social division they belong to, does not matter. For example, I said Vidura was a Shudra, but it does not matter. He is an exalted devotee and he is considered to be very great, right? And if you see, Prahlad Maharaj was belonging to an Asura family, right? Hanuman is technically considered to be in the animal classification, monkey classification. Does not matter, right? So a
Prabhuji,
devotee,
what about Narada?
Narada is incarnation of the Lord. He's a Brahmarshi. He's a Brahmana.
Yes, but when he was first born as a
In the
maid
previous
servant,
lifetime, that's right. He was born as a son of a maid servant. That is, he was a Shudra at that point of time, obviously, right? So doesn't matter. Narada was a Shudra, born to a Shudra woman, but he was Krishna conscious, and he became what he became at the end of his life because he was chanting. So that's not a disqualification. Okay, this is a human societal division. But if you technically see, if you strictly see, if you're going with a non-Krishna conscious way of uplifting ourselves, the order in which we uplift ourselves is, first we get a birth as a Shudra, and then the next birth is that of a Vaishya, the next birth is that of a Kshatriya, the next birth is that of a Brahmana, the next birth is that of a Brahmana who is knowing the knowledge of the scriptures, next birth is that of a Brahmana who is having the knowledge of the scriptures and detached, next birth is that of a Brahmana who has the knowledge of the scriptures, detached, and is sannyasi, and the next birth is maybe liberation. So this is a technical route of going, to liberation. But we don't have to go through all of this cycle. We just have to be Krishna conscious. If we are Krishna conscious, we can directly go back to Godhead. Krishna said anybody can go back to Godhead. There's no disqualification for anybody from going back to Godhead. That's very important. Okay. So human society is similar to any other animal society, but to elevate men from the animal status, the above mentioned divisions are created by the Lord for systematic development of Krishna consciousness. The purpose of these 4 divisions of work is to give us some rules and regulations for systematic development of Krishna consciousness. The idea why there is a division, that these are Brahmanas and they are supposed to act like Brahmanas. This is the Kshatriyas and they're supposed to act like Kshatriyas. This is a division, that these are the Vaishyas and they should act only like Vaishyas. There's a clear division because the idea is not for allowing one class of society to exploit others. That's not the idea. If that was the case, then it is not the system to be blamed. It is ourselves to be blamed, right? So if I am going to an company and saying I want an employment, I am openly saying exploit me. What else is that? I mean, I'm saying, use me. That's what it basically means. Now it is my problem that I am going to a company and saying, okay, utilize my energy and tell me what I should be doing. I am your servant, right? So we are going like that. So that's not the thing. The point here is Krishna consciousness. It's for the systematic development of Krishna consciousness. So that's the ultimate end, is that we become Krishna conscious. So if we can become Krishna conscious without the help of this varnashrama system, very good. But oftentimes it helps. Oftentimes it helps. How does it help? It helps because this varnashrama system is based on the topmost varna. Brahmana varna is said to be the topmost varna. Administrators are not said to be the topmost. I mean, we are not saying here that dictatorship is the most important thing. We are not saying capitalist society is the best society. We are not saying communist society is the best society. We are saying the society which is based on spiritual development, the society which is rooted in spirituality, in simplicity, in knowledge, that is Brahminical culture. That is the real society. That is called a human society, not the dictatorial society run by a dictator who is putting a knife on the throat and forcing people to do something or exploit them, nor the capitalistic people who are only mindlessly running after money and who have no clue about anything else, nor the communistic kind of a society who are only talking about the laborer class. We are talking about the spiritual class, right? Based on Srimad Bhagavatam, based on the scriptures the society has to run. This is the idea. So the tendency of the particular man towards work is determined by the modes of material nature which is acquired. And it is said, 18th chapter of the Bhagavad-gītā explains clearly what are the qualities of a Brahmana, what are the qualities of a Vaishya, what are the qualities of a Shudra, what are the qualities of a Kshatriya. So there is no possibility to cheat or get cheated or get confused, because everything is very clear in the scriptures. We are not ready to open the scriptures, and we are sentimentally just simply rebelling against something instead of using or applying our mind. This is actually, I will say that it's a British propaganda. So the Britishers, they wanted to systematically cut us down to make us feel ashamed about our own culture. So that is the reason why they started heavily criticizing against the caste system. And they started making a contrast of these divisions instead of they themselves trying to understand what it is and appreciating it. There were many scholars who appreciated it, but due to political reasons, they have brainwashed us to make us think that we have something inferior, we have something which is very bad. I am part of a religion which is so bad. That's our. So we are a part of that brainwash. We should reverse that brainwash and read this Bhagavad Gita. Then we will understand what is the meaning of the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. So the point is, a person in Krishna consciousness is above the Brahmanas, because the Brahmanas are supposed to be knowing about the Brahman. So the priestly class of Brahmana, they are looking for the absolute truth. Even the scientists or the academicians, they are looking for the absolute truth. They are searching for truth. Those who are scripturally inclined, they are using the Vedic scriptures to find out about the absolute truth. So absolute truth, supreme absolute truth, that is Brahman. But they only reach up to impersonal Brahman manifestation of Lord Krishna. But when you transcend the knowledge of Brahmana and you reach the knowledge of Supreme Personality of God, Lord Sri Krishna, then you become a person in Krishna consciousness. That is, in other words, a Vaishnava. Krishna consciousness includes knowledge of the different expansions of Krishna, namely Rama, Nrisimha, Varaha, etc. And Krishna is transcendental to the 4 systems of 4 divisions of human society. And a person in Krishna consciousness is also transcendental to the divisions of human society, whether we consider the division of community, nation, or species. Right? So this is the important point. And I was saying that I'll show you the verses which talk about the divisions, right? Let's just see that. In the 18th chapter, if we go. So if you see that Brahmana, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, we'll just quickly go through this. Close. Sorry. It says the peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by Brahmanas work. So there is no reason to complain that the Shudras are oppressed, or to say that I am a Shudra. Why is that Shudras are very much taken low of in the scriptures? If somebody can exhibit these qualities, they are Brahmanas. They don't need to classify themselves as Shudras anymore. If they're working like the Brahmanas, if they have these qualities, peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness, they are themselves, they don't need to they don't need to say themselves as Shudras anymore. They're already Brahmanas. So it is a nature. See this here. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work of Kshatriyas. So if somebody has this kind of svabhava, somebody is very heroic, like a natural leader, always like, finding power, very courageous in battle, fighting, is not scared of fighting, generous, such a person is a Kshatriya. Somebody who is into farming, cow protection, and business, about profit, about earning money, making money, creating systems, such a person is a Vaishya. And Shudras are for labor and service. But those people who are only inclined towards just getting a salary or a wage, the employees, they are called the Shudras. So it is just the Swabhava, it's just left to us what we are. Based on our Swabhava and based on the profession that we choose, we are what we are. But anyways, the final point is, whatever your occupation is, we have to be worshipping Krishna. The purpose is that we do our occupation and we worship Krishna. Because only by worshipping Krishna, we can elevate ourselves and go back to Godhead. Not by simply following the rules and regulations of Varnashrama, we may not be able to elevate ourselves. We have to follow the Varnashrama for the pleasure of Krishna, then we will go back to Godhead. So that is about it. This was the verse today, which essentially said that Krishna is the creator of the four Varnas. Right? However, he is not attached to any one of them. He is neither one of the four, nor is he affected by this four. Right? He is not affected by any kind of work. There's a lot of work that's being done by all these four classes. The intelligentsia are creating a lot of research papers. The administrative class are fighting so many wars and they're consolidating countries, drawing borders every now and then, changing the borders of countries. Mercantile classes creating wealth for the nation or for the world, and the labor class is working very hard for the sake of wages and salaries. No matter how much work is happening, Krishna is not affected by all of this work that's happening in the society, because he is the super soul within our heart and he is unaffected, he is transcendental. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees. And any closing comments? Please let me know if there is something that you want to add or any
Hare Krishna
mistakes.
Prabhuji,
Please.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much.
Dhanyavad pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam to everybody assembled. Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad pranams. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah.
Hare
Thank
But
you,
you
Krishna,
can also
Prabhuji.
add
Hare
to
Prabhuji,
the
Krishna.
please. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you
Yes.
very much.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Yes, please.
I have a small doubt.
Yes, please.
Prabhuji, was Narad Muni a Gandharva before he became the son of a maid servant?
He was a Gandharva before he became son of a maid servant. He was cursed to become a son of a maid servant.
Maid servant.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.